Now, hey, Dan, Brad, what's going on?
Thank you very much, Scott, for the intro. I just want to make sure if everyone can see my screen.
It's coming through loud and clear along with your voice.
Wonderful. Good buddy, Brad. And is Barry with us today, Brad?
I have not seen Barry pop in. He may eventually come through, but we'll manage without him.
Well, if he does, Barry, we welcome you when you do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Trade Ideas for the Q&A webinar. We're going to show you some amazing stuff today, myself and Brad. I'm the CEO, still down with talking to the customers. I'm not some executive sitting in some room with lots of chairs and a circular chair where we're all jerking off, around and not really doing any real work. Brad and I were, in fact, Brad, weren't we today just knee deep?
I don't know, but I'm not in that room.
No, I'm not in that room either. I'm saying, but you and I were on our digital room today, knee deep in the creation cycle. Brad and I are like Cooter and Bo Duke working on the Dukes of Hazzard generally. I'm deep in the engine. We're plugging things out, taking things apart. Some good stuff is happening, you guys. And
well, look, we've been doing that for 17 years now. We're not going to stop. So every day is a new adventure, one, in how we could improve people, give them more functionality in our software, give them better ideas, and that's what we do.
Well, I want the people to know, Brad, this is something that's really cool, because maybe, part of the Great Awakening is really people understanding that, like, we're not executives. It's not that, like, we can't do executive function, because obviously we do, but we work with the software that we want you guys to subscribe to because we would want to pay for it if we didn't have it. We're making the product that you must have. We use it ourselves. Not because
you may have forgotten, Dan, but I think, it was 17 years ago, we were looking for something to help us trade, right? And it just kind of grew much further than our trading. But that
really find out a lot about our origins, who we are as people. We tried to really put it all out there. So I'm going to jump into the stuff, guys. It's going to be really good today. Hold on to your seats, because I'm going to blow you away with some amazing philosophy on approaching this game, which is active investing. By the way, everything in life, the game of life, the journey, but active investing, one of the most mental, fully engaged things, Brad, that maybe people can do.
It's like you have your finger on the pulse of everything that's going on when you're trading.
Correct, in the world. So before we begin, just a quick disclaimer, Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. All the information you're going to hear from myself, Scott, Brad, any member of Trade Ideas is simply to be used for informational and educational purposes only. You are dealing with a company that has zero venture capital. We were beating them off. Get off my leg. We're always trying to bite at our heels. Mr. Merkin, can we show you how to
To be fair, we danced that game and realized it wasn't the way we wanted to approach this one here.
Mr. Merkin, can we show you how we can give you money and then get on your board? Get out of here. Why do we not have to do it? Because of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so grateful to the individual investors who believe in us and have believed in us since 2003. Because again, just simply saying, we have never ever needed to raise capital, because we run a business in this odd way that hardly anybody does it anymore, called making it profitable. Brad, what the hell is that? Weird, right? Right. So we've been on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing privately held companies for the last 3 years. We kick ass, you guys, and we kick ass because of you, because of all the people that realize that we're a tool you can't live without. I'm going to show you why. I just wanted to tell you also, we're very patriotic about the country we live in and the markets that we trade, primarily U.S. markets. All of our software is not outsourced. None of it is. All made in the USA by U.S. Developers. So, why are we all here? Right? We're all here because something has come. If you believed in the buy and hold notion, you would not be here. So I know you don't believe it, but I like to just point out the fact that it is just one of these. Maybe, Brad, it helps you to believe in magic a little bit, because you realize it's a spell that's being pulled over your mind. Why? Well, because while you've been in the midst of the coronavirus panic, you have seen that the stock market arguably has almost moved by itself 1 to 3% a day. And since there's 250 days, That sure is a whole lot of percentage points. Meanwhile, what have they been ramming down your throat? You know, in my mafia, down your throat.
Masks?
Hey, well, aside from the masks, they want you to think that 7% and 5% and these, just 8% is good. And they've been doing this since you've been in the market. So we're here to kind of break some truth for you. That's complete bullshit. You can do so much better. We're going to show you how. Brad, is my voice really muffled or?
It's not, buddy. It's the fact that you just need some type of dampening agent in your room. You need a curtain or a carpet or something. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. We hear you though, MB.
Okay. Sorry about that, MB. That's right, Patrick. Hold your horses. So anyways, first thing is, we are all here in the same place. We understand that the market is something that is way more potent than the bullshit that they've been selling us. You can make a lot more percentages. And again, if you think that buy and hold is good, then you're just asking yourself to be stuck in something for a long time. Then, of course, Brad, it's like Greek mythology. You have to pass through trials and tribulations in the stock market. For some reason, there's always these pitfalls, these bombs that are hidden, mines. This is one of the.
I think there's a saying. It's what? Be careful who you follow.
Be careful who you use discernment. Discernment means investigate everything. Find out why some people have like the highest complaint rate out of anybody else. But my point is, why are you here, right? We started with the market is not a buy and hold market. You're correct. You're at the right price. Trade ideas is the thing you're going to be using to take advantage of this information. You're way ahead of the game, but I'm trying to entertainingly, philosophically show you, be careful of this. It's hunting you right now. On the internet, you look up a stock and boom! Next thing you know, there's a donut in your face, Brad.
Hungry.
Okay. The other beautiful thing, and this was in my presentation last time, ladies and gentlemen, but I hope you're enjoying the show. Well, I've got this much experience, I've got that much experience, you get this much experience. Get the F out of here. Okay? You don't need it. Now we are in a completely new environment. Okay? Everybody's starting from scratch. Everybody is a newbie. So the fact that you're here, be proud of yourself. You're just a little bit ahead of the game. Okay? And I'm not preaching that simply to tell you because I want your subscription. I mean, you obviously already knew that. I'm just trying to make you see, because you already know this at a level, and I'm just trying to point out to it, okay? So again, this whole notion of valuation, I want to go back real quick, Brad. Whoops, dang it. So when we put money in the stock market, we are taking risks. The whole key to surviving and doing well is managing that risk. Okay, so I want to say it again, managing that risk. It's actually not that different. If anybody here plays poker, Brad, I would say that managing the risk in the stock market is similar to managing the risk in poker in a sense that, you just can't be going all in all the time. That's not how you win. You can be lucky on all in, but you're not going to keep doing that all the time. So with that, let me get into this. So much of everything that has to do with the stock market takes off away from the psychology and starts to get your reliance on silly ass shit, like these things like technical indicators, like, oh look, some squiggly line on a chart is doing this, so this is gonna happen. Forget about all that shit. Honestly, it's not that you can't use it, but the metaphor would be like, I only fight with an uppercut. Those are the technical analysts. Okay, the truth of the matter is, okay, that a good stock trader has to manage risk in multiple different ways, much like the sweet science of boxing. If you ever study how Muhammad Ali beat Joe George,
good one.
Brad, you got me.
I gotcha.
See, Brad manipulated me. Okay, by saying Joe Frazier so many times that I'm repeating what he's saying, but it's George Foreman in the world famous rope-a-dope defense tactic. Everybody thought George Foreman was going to win, demolish Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali, I believe, was older and not as big. And George was just dismantling people. And here, Muhammad Ali used this amazing defensive tactic called the rope-a-dope, where he got George tired, and then that led George to expose his weakness and lead to Ali's victory. Does everyone understand what I'm talking about? In terms of the risk management. What it means for trading is quite simple, Brad. Most investors come in to trade and they only understand it as the knockout punch. You know, I've got to get into a position and I've got to knock that thing out and just buy and hold. Because buy and hold is taking a swing, putting everything in, and then hoping for that you knock the thing out. Am I correct, Brad?
Well, you are, and you could even kind of call it like an averaging in scenario where
we're going to jump right into this guy right here. So, okay. Let me, first of all, make you guys see. I'm going to kind of simplify this just a little bit because I don't want to overwhelm anybody. You're watching Trade Ideas Pro. This is our software. Okay, this is kind of where you interact with the stock market. And this is a channel called Brokerage Plus, where you can either through our simulated, or in this case, real environment, interact with the market, where you learn things. Okay, this, of course, right here, is being traded for real. This is real money. Okay, so today overall I was down $794. This is what I'm trying to tell you about the rope-a-dope. I was down $794, but Brad, how many, I mean, if you get rid of this 100,000 on this penny stock, which isn't really anything tradable, just that's really called effing around. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with a little fun in the stock market either, right, Brad? Because it's only risking, you know, $5,000. You can F around a little bit, and I'm, as it turns out, Brad, I'm human.
you are. I won't argue that one.
Okay. But let me show you. So here I am. Look at my P&L. No other software that I'm aware of, Brad, lets you visually track your P&L throughout the day. So do you guys see how today I'm holding like rough, I mean, there's 5, 10, 15, 5, 16, 17, 18,000 shares. Okay, I'm kind of in a lot of shares of stuff. Okay, 18,000 shares, down just a little bit, but look at my P&L. This is kind of like what I was trying to show you guys. This is me doing this. I'll be so I'm not in any kind of danger. So I'm sitting in a lot of shares. If I am able to manage this and do something good with it, I'll have an immense opportunity to reap advantage alpha on the upside. And again, you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I want to show you, so one of the other things I do on these Q&A webinars is I like to give you guys ideas, show you what I'm working with, and make it simple so that you don't have to It doesn't need to be complicated. There's nothing complicated here. And by the way, we teach you how to use all of this. There's educational curriculum going on every single day about some topic of trade ideas. It's free for all of our customers. You can attend, again, it's almost like college. You can attend different levels of things. There's 101 classes, there's advanced classes. So you don't need to know about, well, how do I learn this? It is a very easy, but also very powerful software. So there's lots that it can do, but you don't have to be overwhelmed in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So if you are, for some reason, going, oh my gosh, there's so many, don't worry. This is just seeing one view of the market. We're the Netflix of the market, but we're also the Tesla and the Apple computer, because I'm going to show you what we do. We let you track things in ways that you otherwise don't see, give you feedback. So my open P&L is 744. Today I closed $166 in losers. My profit factor was decent. Total trades, obviously I need to improve this. But overall, lots of, see, Brad, this is one of the things that's positive that gives you the feedback that, hey, maybe I shouldn't bail out of this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to just once again go back to this. What Muhammad Ali is doing here, right? He is letting, why is it called the rope-a-dope, Brad? Do you know? I mean, I just want to.
I don't know. I mean, I would say that because he's on the ropes and he's able to use the ropes to keep him up. That
Correct.
All the while the opponent's expending energy, kind of thing.
Correct. He, like, if you think this was a very simple yet amazingly powerful conversion play, and an energy conversion play. Here's George Foreman is just like pumping like John Henry against the locomotive, right? And Ali is leaning back against the ropes. So as the punch is hitting Ali, it's being absorbed by his body, but being transferred to the rope. It's amazing stuff, actually. Okay. So from that perspective, this information that I see here, and again, you can use this in simulated trading mode, which we really recommend, lets me know that I'm actually not in really bad shape. Like, you don't panic being down $814. And a lot of times it's managing the panic that's really the key. Okay. So I'm going to show you a couple of really, so that we talked about the defense. So I can be in this kind of a trade where, you know, I buy a little here, sell a little here. You know, I'm trying to get into a position in a stock that I've been talking about for a long time, US Steel. You know, Brad, we've been mentioning this one all of April at some point or another. And I've been trading around it. You know, that's something that people do. I'm trying to find the real move, and it's already happening. Like, to me, it's kind of given us its tell, Brad. You know, this is a very solid move. In other words, almost up 100% from the lows. In other words, these people, by the way, and this is some of the way that we use information, instead of like relying on crazy with squiggly numbers, just logic here, right? So 38% of all investors are speculating that this thing is basically going bankrupt. So multiply 168 million shares times 38%. What is that?
Going lower, not necessarily bankrupt.
Right. Well, but I'm saying that for people to still be short here, they have lost 100%. Like, they've lost a significant percentage of their incredible gains at this level.
Go ahead and zoom out on that daily, though, right? It didn't come in from $9; it came in from $30.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that this number is still short. Remember? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. So whoever this is, we're in this point where psychologically you start to understand, you know, a panic may soon ensue, because if this thing starts getting going, people who are short this, which is roughly almost, what is it, 50-something million shares? Imagine what happens when those guys start buying. That's how I want you to think. It's kind of, it doesn't have to be complicated. So I'm trading around this. I'm up 1,100 in this position from my average cost of 782, which is right here. Notice you can see it. Sorry, right here. Get rid of this pen. So I can see my entry. We really visualize things on the charts. That's another amazing thing with when you have a program like this, like Trade Ideas. So everything is visual. You can see what's going on. And once again, we notice my chart is not dirtied up by all the squiggly lines. I use my eyes. My eyes tell me everything. We have some of the most sophisticated technology in the world, our eyes, and the way our brain recognizes patterns. And from that point of view, I'm going to show you the other thing, which is, again, so key. It's so simple. You guys are going to love it, okay? Look at this trade in NBY. Let me zoom in on it here, okay? I got it right here. Popped 5,000 shares of it. Again, because it's not a lot of money. You know, don't be afraid to spend 5,000 on a trade. My average cost is 106. So you can see this is my buy point, Brad. All visible, right? But I want to show you how I found it. So cool. You guys are gonna love it. So on this screen, I'm seeing new highs and lows on high relative volume. So I'm always keeping an eye on this for two reasons. Number one, visually, it tells you the flow. When you see a lot of red, then you know the market's kind of heading down. See that right there? That's where all that came from. But as you keep going, again, you can kind of, you start to catch things. Like what's going on here? Capstone Turnback, Brad. Why don't you tell us, Brad? Isn't that a San Diego company, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but certainly a great move today. Looks really good on the chart.
So something about the electrical sector was all on fire today, okay? So we keep going, and I'm going to show you this is totally different. Mattel doll manufacturing. Maybe somebody likes it. Right, there we go, Mark, okay? So look at Remark Holdings today. It was up 44%. So remember my first slide where I told you buy and hold is complete bullshit. And let me just be clear here. Remark Holdings, even though it's a small price stock, right? They have revenues of 76 million, and something is up, quote unquote. It traded 161 million shares. So it was so liquid, Brad. Was there any trouble for anybody with any size to get in and out of it?
Absolutely not.
Companies that I did here with that. So Mark, I saw it go by, and I simply went over here. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me back up. Not just Mark, this one. Although we'll get to Mark also, by the way. This one right here, MGNX. A little more exciting, right, guys? Brad. So buy and hold. Hello? Anybody? Is this thing on? Working? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is what we are doing in the stock market here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go to details here. 85 million. That was after earnings, I guess something happened, Brad, possibly.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. 170 relative volume. Again, I was watching this thing early, okay? So I click on MGNX, and obviously, when you see something like this go, the way this goes, okay, you get a little frightened, Brad. You went there to hold me.
The moves are quick. I mean,
It's a little, you know, but I'm not superhuman. I also don't want to get into something because you really don't know these ranges, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of these waves, because you know what it is? It's just like if you're surfing the big waves in Hawaii, like Jaws. Laird Hamilton, he might be amazing, right? But he didn't want to eat it up in the Jaws either, just no matter how good you are, right? So check it out. Santosh said, did you buy MGNX? Okay, let me show you. So I went MGNX, dang, what is that? Similar. And literally one of the first things that I saw at that moment was boom, NBY. And that's what I bought. So when MGNX went, it was right around this time, I saw NBY as a similar competitor, and that's simple. Do you guys see how beautiful? And you know, and there's other ones like it. You know, well, you can see the reason why I liked NBY, because like it had already gone up, came down, and it's sort of like continuing in that pattern. I'd love to see this thing break out of this, and me in 5,000 shares. Tony, yes, we have full pre-market and post-market data. In fact, I mean, I think you're seeing that information on these screens right now as we speak. But I'm trying to tell you guys, so imagine you like whatever stock. It doesn't really matter. You can pull up like, let's just say NVIDIA. I mean, I just want to bring it because they're, ooh, NVIDIA is going. Okay. Well, what else is doing something similar, right? And you can see what's going on here. What should I do? What about this one? You know, you can find something that runs sympathetically. This is your easiest pattern recognition engine. Okay, so let's look at, so everything we talk about, guys, is obviously just allegedly. You know, we do not guarantee anything, but really what you're seeing here is it's starting to stair step higher, and you gotta like give it the support, right? Because right around here, 33, the illuminated number goes below there. It would next test is 21, but the relative volume here on this candle is very, very high. So you have to like that. But again, this could just be one of those pullbacks, and I would not like it also below. So just purely psychologically below the low of this day. So if it retraces this full day, later. Okay, so the similar is if you are as trade ideas have the window, you can say new, whoops, tools, windows,
New. New.
new. Where are you? Here you are. Single stock window. Okay. Anytime you pull that up, you can type in. But it's also on most pages. Apple. Here's Apple. You can go to similar, and you can just see what it does.
Yeah, and if it's not in the version that you have, just go to our website, download the latest version. That functionality is present. And right now we're testing it in the web version, so that'll be coming out probably next week.
Right. So what I really want you guys to see is that there's this one beautiful, simple way. So this page that I'm on, it's called Shall We Play a Game? Because Brad and I are kind of old. And we used to love the movie War Games, you know, about the first AI. Whopper. Delicious. Anyways, so we kind of called our Brokerage Plus interface, where you interface with the market, the Whopper. I'm sorry. Shall We Play a Game? That's the name of this channel. If you click on that, you'll be basically in the same screen that I am. You can connect, so I can remove Brokerage Plus and connect to my simulated trading, where in my simulated trading, Brad, yuck. So in my simulated trading that I didn't pay attention to for the last couple of days because I'm in real trading, but I got into a position of 5,000 shares of JetBlue at almost 10, and it pulled back to 8. So it's not the way you want to trade.
Just has not quite found its bottom yet, huh, Dan?
Right, but also lesson learned. I wasn't really paying attention, and I'm actually, so just so that you know, okay. I mean, I'm glad you brought this up. You, by you I mean me. Is check this out. So let's go back to Brokerage Plus. So this is again the live trading. Notice, please, that I am playing that play. I'm just not playing it in JetBlue. Because I actually have been kind of checking it out, and I knew that it had bottom, but I am simply bottom fishing here on Southwest. There's nothing wrong with bottom fishing if you can manage the risk. Okay, so Brad, how are we on the questions? Anything that I should specifically?
Yeah, so we have someone who'd like to see the back testing work.
Sure.
And he gave an interesting example. It's something that it's really easy for the software to do, and that's trigger anytime the stock's down 25% for the day. And I don't know whether Jorn wants us to buy it or sell it, but maybe you can.
Well, let me show you guys something. Okay. So, I mean, there's a couple of things. Let me do something first. Tools, symbol lists. Okay, I'm going to create a new list called airlines. Okay. To the bottom here, airlines, it's empty, but I can just add a symbol. So LUV, add. Notice there's one there. DAL, add. There's two. JBLU. And by the way, you can do this like by kind of copying and pasting and just doing all sorts of stuff. I'm just showing you the very simple stuff. Hey, Brad, do you know what Spirit Airlines' name is?
I do not.
Well, here, I'm on Southwest and I'm on competitors, so let's take a look here.
There it is.
Oh, AOK, let's do that one. It's probably a good one. All right, so, and all you need is 4 here. Oh, save, yeah, that's right. Save. Thank you. All right, 5 stocks. So the reason I'm doing this is that so looking with something we all recognize here. So file, new, alert windows. So alert is the trigger signal. So that's why you don't trade off of top list. You trade off of alerts because you look for a specific pattern for the entry and boom, you know, you get in. So let me show you something. So we're going to create something that we know should already work, and we're just going to see how it works. Okay. 4. Okay. And let's say nothing because it's a symbol list. You don't need to put any filters in here. Okay. Symbol lists. And what did I call it, Brian?
I don't know. I wasn't watching you.
Me either. Where's where airlines?
Airlines, second, right there.
Okay. Airlines. Do you guys like that? Okay. Back testing is used to see. It's a great question. What is back testing used for? Back testing is kind of like this. Why do in football teams or boxers, why do they watch tape of fighters? Do you guys understand? Do you know? Or in football games, why do you watch? If you're going to be playing the 49ers, or in basketball, if you're going to be playing the Golden State Warriors, why do you watch tape on it? You watch tape so that you can figure out what you're going to be facing, right? So, right. So what I'm going to show you is this is tape, should be in theory at least. So when we are going to enter this trade, in other words, we're going to get in, and we're not going to take any new positions. A lot of times I like to do this like this 11. I'll back up and I'll explain what I'm doing here so that everyone sees, okay? So this is a little bit of the under the hood mechanics, okay, of the stock market. So obviously in the stock market, you make trades during the day. I'm in California, so the stock market's open from 6:30 to 1 p.m., okay? So from that point of view, as an investor, you kind of have to know from your experience, when is a good time to get in or out of things? And it can be open, really, but for back testing purposes, you're trying to make a system, we kind of say, out. Well, in this particular case, I'm showing you a swing trade, okay? So we're gonna get out at the close after about a week. And again, I'm just trying to tell you you can relate to it. Here, somebody gets into a trade and they're able to risk management. You can do lots of different things. Brad, should I put anything in here or just kind of keep it simple?
You can keep it simple, but go ahead and put 50-cent stop. You know, that way you can just be assured, or whatever value, that you're not going to lose more than a certain amount.
$0.50?
Sure.
Okay. So here, so what we're doing here is we're saying we're going to get into these trades. If they go 50 cents against us, we're out. Okay. And we're going to, you can do more advanced stuff, but again, let's keep it simple. Okay. You can always look at your summary. So here's what we're doing. We're testing the last 30 days. Let's short sell. So do you see what it's doing? It's going through the process of trying out. This is, again, the AI, the machine learning. So we are machine learning from the past right now. We're going back 30 days and we're getting into these airlines, and when they're coming down, we're shorting them to see if this strategy is good. And the beauty here is you can kind of back into virtually any pattern recognition. So you're using kind of big data here. Again, you know, it's almost done. So I'm gonna kind of move it over, let it finish here on the side. And almost, and when it's done, I'll bring it in just again, so that it's like we're at 99%. Okay, boom. So notice here you have this calendar heat map that sort of shows you what's going on. It's telling you that you only had a 3% win rate. So during this whole month of April, right, this was not the strategy. Like in this particular case, for the airline sector, going short was not a good idea. They were rebounding. Okay, so what can you do then? Watch this. You can run it again. You can say, well, I was wrong on the short side. What happens on the long side? This is very interesting because, again, you can try different things out and you find out how the market is not always as easy as it looks, right? So this is a great lesson for all of you guys. I'm just trying to show you that it's not simply like, you know, you flip it and you instantly get different statistics. Why? Because, again, the data sets are real time, and a lot of times the market is so efficient that you can lose it in actually both directions. It's kind of amazing, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very efficient market.
Right. So our computers in the AI are doing this for you. So let me show you something else. I want to kind of, since we're approaching the end. So I showed you can back test. You can do amazing things. You can back test your own little favorite sectors or patterns or anything. Okay. You can do lots of stuff, and there's videos on it. But I'm going to show you what our AI was doing today, what it was up to. And I'm going to show you how I interacted with some of the stuff. Okay, so this is our AI engine that's doing all the statistical analysis and is trying to give you a heads up on a good strategy. I'm going to go sorted by time. So this is how it started. Okay, so it was in DCAR. Again, remember, guys, this is a great example, Brad, of a situation where you have to be aware that you don't always, the AI is not always right, because we're not trying to say we're fortune tellers. We're quantitative behavioral specialists. You can be wrong. The key is risk management, which is why you see it right there. What a beautiful risk management move right there. Okay, you're out. And so I was not in this particular trade because it was very early, and I don't like opening trades because of the volatility. Remember what I talked about before? Breaking it down for you guys. Why did we just avoid that 615 and so on and so forth, right? So this came down, but look at what I want to show you. So this is DCAR, right? I'm actually going to do a couple of things because I like the volatility. I'm going to add it to my liked stops. So now it's going to be on a channel that's right here that I can always refer back to, okay? So this was the AI trade entry at 129, okay? Last price 72. But let me go back over here real quick and show you that using AI as like a heads up in this particular case, I didn't have this one automated, but I bought 5,000 right here because I knew, because the other one, cars, remember we were talking about, this one, I think.
Yeah, zoom out on that one because that was a phenomenon.
I mean, so pretty. So just let me. So since Holly caught the car first, but it didn't work, the AI went after cars. Again, they're similar, I think. Are they similar? Yeah, they are. Similar type of plays, and this one was just phenomenal. So again, you can kind of see the beauty of what the technology is trying to do. And you yourself can actually profit from it. So I missed cars. I mentioned that, I think. I didn't get into it, but I caught DCAR on the rebound. Sweet science. Got into it here, lost, got into it here, and made back. Okay, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. So I'm showing you the jab, the defense, offense, defense. See this? I mean, you're seeing also what company, right? Where else do you see your footprints on the charts? Ladies and gentlemen, come on. You're being given a product by people that know how this shit works. You need to see what you're doing, otherwise you can't learn from your mistakes. Brad, have I ever said anything better? Did I not warn us that this could be the best webinar ever?
You absolutely warned us, so we're prepared.
Okay, all right. Well, Ralph, and you can trade anything you want. We just don't do options on Brokerage Plus yet. We may get into that at some point in the future, but right now we're just the equity specialists.
Yeah, and we do have a data point with respect to options that we track if it's doing unusual amount of options, but that's just in aggregate for the root symbol.
So let me show you real quick. I mean, we have a channel for that, so there's nothing to configure. So we have some cute names like calls, and more calls, like where the percentage of volume and the put call ratio and call volume today, where you can just see unusual options activity. Okay, and pivot from that to whatever option you want to do. But we're showing you unusual options flow right over here.
Yeah, and it's that unusual behavior that we're really the special. That's what our specialty is. So whether it's looking at option volume or price volume, price action, any of that. So if unusual movements happen or unusual volume happens, the software is just immediately set up to be able to alert you to that.
Yeah, Jonathan, you can do that. You can do all of that. Let me just, I'll give you kind of like a high level real quick. Let me just show you. New alert window, our configuration. So let's say you can say something like position, okay? So you can put in, where's the stock relative to the open? It's 5-minute range, it's 15 minutes range, it's range for the day, yesterday, pre-market, last week. I mean, you can break it down in any way you want. Position in the last 10 days, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, year. Do you want it at 52-week highs, but do you want it to rebound? I mean, you can do anything you want, paint the most beautiful picture. We do one-on-ones. They're a little, I believe they're $99 an hour, but we do them, absolutely. and you get very specialized treatment. But guys, we have a wealth of information on our YouTube channel, which is available all the time, 24/7. Just look at that when you go to YouTube. Okay. So back to Brokerage Plus. I like to keep things simple. Like I said, it's a battle. Keep your eye on Southwest Airlines. If these things run, okay, I mean, it's on 52-week low. So again, this is called mean reversion. It really broke through, but if this rubber band pops, it went from 28 to 44 in like 3 days. Brad, remember that? So you're kind of saying, if it's overdone here, man, imagine this thing above 32 and you've got some panic buying.
Hey, maybe you could bring up like an alert window and just go into the search tab and type in fundamental.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ralph was asking about whether we have fundamental data. And so these are some of the fundamental filters that you can both display through any of your windows, whether it's alert, top list, single stock, or you can use them as a filter component. So maybe you only want to see stocks that are within, you know, a certain range for a market cap or any of these data points here. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, I want to talk about what Patrick's question is. If you're a complete noob and all this stuff, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you. If you do not understand that part of the essence of the sweet science is that you have, hey, hold on a second, is that you've got an opportunity here, right, to work with all this in simulated trading. You must do surgeons right away start working on human bodies, or do they work on cadavers? Do professional golfers go to the driving range? Do professional boxers work with sparring partners? Why do you spar? Because the sparring partner isn't going to knock you out. You learn technique here. There's so much that I was getting by knowing, like, man, this was not a great buy. So there wasn't that strength to break out. And seeing this, you know, again, it kind of gives you a heads up on levels. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a buyer on these highs. So what did I do? I bought on lows. Brad, do you kind of, right, simple, intuitive stuff that you can deduce, but this here, okay, this is simulated, right? That means that if you can't invest 6 months or 7 months into proper simulated trading where you learn how to work with the system, even if you already have money to trade, don't rush. Market ain't going anywhere, okay? You're not missing anything because you can go both down and up. Look at here. Between 20 and 8. I mean, you have so much percentage move in these airlines, right? In just 2 months, you have percentage moves over 10 years, right?
So Dan, I see that you have, I know you're in it, so it doesn't really matter, but I see that you've got a green color indicates that it's already been triggered through. But if you just kind of wiggle it, move it a penny up, a penny down, now it'll be reactivated. So now it turns blue again. And so when this stock, if he isn't in it, and maybe he kind of loses interest, it'll go ahead and change it right to your top of your mind, and or not.
Yeah, concept. But the best thing that we do, right, is this ability for you to visually flatten, half, double, reverse. You learn to work these in paper mode, Brad, right? You're going to see your footprints on the charts, just like this is okay. So like, look, it's giving you feedback. Boom, boom, boom. What am I doing? I knew exactly what I did. I bought. I didn't like it, but then I bought again. You know. Managed lower, found some what would look like support held, and here I'm in it. So the other thing too, guys, is once you are experienced, right, you can have this AI trade for you in autopilot mode, by the way. If you have through interactive brokerage and soon through E-Trade and possibly some other ones coming down the pike, maybe, if TD Ameritrade is nice to us and gives us some money, you guys can ask them to do that for us. Hey guys at TD Ameritrade, could you give Trade Ideas money? You have a lot of it. You were just bought by who? Schwab, right? Jerry, there is nobody that can tell you, because again, any number is a number that is going on in the past. The future is unknown. You have to manage your risks. It's that simple. Well, I'm just saying, like, that for me, the way I traded, it's probably like just right high 50s, like 57, but I don't have it on full auto. And again, we have these things called re-entries. So if you're on Holly, right, you can re-enter, you can not re-enter. There's so many different ways to do it, and it's how you trade it that really ultimately ends up being your own footprint on the whole notion of the market. And you have to do it that way. Carlos, it's way fast enough. You know, we are not in any kind of our market. So for you guys, it's beyond fast. I mean, that's the best way for me to describe it. Okay. So since so many of you are engaged with those ideas through simulated trading without you having to risk your own capital until you feel good, and we're about to give you the kind of feedback in the simulated trading that will blow your freaking mind. Oh yeah, something big is happening in the next like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or maybe it's 4 weeks, but something big. Either way, something that you must know is, let me get to where I was before, is that of course, again, part of our support infrastructure is that we've got a free trading room with lots of experts who are longtime users of our software, ready to go. Barry Anderson provides support. If you're window shopping, great time to check that out, okay? Daily support sessions, like I said, our education is bar none, trade-ideas.com/live. This is how much our software costs on a per day basis, but you pay monthly or annually. You guys are our bread and butter. Nothing we can do without you. There's a special promo code right now, May days, 15% off of your first month or a year off of Trade Ideas. Additionally, and very importantly, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start a test drive May 11th. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever had, and last one we had was the biggest one we've ever had. I mean, people are getting it. You know, that's all I can tell you is we're like Netscape before anybody even knew what the hell a browser was, even though we've been in business for 17 years. Okay, how many companies do you guys know where the CEO and the COO actually still use the tech in the real world? You know, and not just sit around, like I said, a corporate, you know, roundtable. So go to trade-ideas.com/test drive for $8.99. You can try out all the features, the AI, everything we just showed you, and participate in a competition and lots of stuff. Of course, we also do a podcast every Friday. Myself, Mr. Jamie Hodge, Sean McLaughlin, lots of the team members, guys, so many people who work at Trade Ideas are experts in the field of trading. So it's an amazing group of people, and we've been doing it since 2003. No venture capital. We have a free ebook for you guys, How to Work with Earnings, just another way for you to take advantage of our expertise. And the one that we had before that was How to Trade in the Post-BTFD Market, which happened right after we published the book. Nice work, book writers. We are very easy for you to get a hold of. Okay, social media, follow us on Twitter at Trade Ideas, at Quanbot, at Today Trader, like us on Facebook. Feel free to give us a call and shoot us an email at info@trade-ideas.com. So Hill, what do you not understand? You're in the place to be when it comes to
Well, I think it was said that you came in early, or he came in early today, so be able to catch up on the replay. We'll have a replay sent out by tomorrow.
Yeah. So the one you get access on May 11th. So let me.
Well, you actually get access Friday after the market close. So you'll be able to log in as soon as the market closes, and yeah.
Right. So you get access on the 11th. Amazing time to be in the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. Scott, I think we're all good. I thank you for your time. We're grateful. and we will continue to innovate all the time.
All right, sounds good. We'll have the recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. You guys will get an email follow-up from GoToWebinar. And thanks, everyone.
Thank you.